Hi everyone and welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about 8 signs of a toxic relationship. Please subscribe and type subscribed in the comment section below. What is a toxic relationship? Where healthy relationships often provide both parties with a framework for support and connection, toxic relationships have a far more challenging dynamic. Often one-sided, the imbalance of power can leave one member feeling withdrawn, overwhelming, and negative about their role. According to Hadley, this type of behavior can manifest in a number of different ways. However, the result is usually the same. A toxic relationship is characterized by behaviors that negatively impact your well-being. If we think about the word toxic itself, it means something that is harmful to us and sometimes even poisonous. What makes a relationship toxic? One of the more challenging aspects of this dating situation is that those who exhibit toxic relationship signs and traits are often unaware they are doing so. In many circumstances, the actions are a result of past trauma or poor positive role models in their early childhood. Nevertheless, Hadley explains that having one dominant figure in a relationship will throw the balance of power out, causing disruption in the proverbial status quo. Most behaviors we find in a toxic relationship result from a significant lack of empathy and genuine care for the other person, along with a desire for power or control, the dating expert explains. For a relationship to be healthy, we need a base level of compassion and understanding, which is typically missing when any of the previously mentioned behaviors are present. Often, narcissistic traits can fuel toxicity, so if one or both parties has a tendency to be overly arrogant, self-centered, manipulative, patronizing, or cocky, it's likely that the relationship could turn sour as a result. More recently, the concept of a toxic relationship has been deeply discussed, with high-profile celebrity cases such as Johnny Depp and Amber Heard evoking global attention. The public nature of the accusations and resulting court case brought the secret lives of the rich and famous out into the open, revealing a multitude of narcissistic and combative behavior not uncommon in a toxic relationship. Hadley's warning is stark but necessary. Understanding the signs of a toxic relationship can help you to avoid a future heartbreak or emotional breakdown, while also working to better improve your own behavioral traits. If you find yourself asking, what is a toxic relationship? It's time to step back and take a holistic look at your friendships and connections. According to the dating expert, there are 8 key toxic relationship signs to look out for. 1. Keeping score. A common trait of toxic people involves the process of keeping score. As Hadley explains, this is a harmful behavior in relationships and that breeds resentment. While it's true that the number of actions and offerings within a relationship won't ever really be 100% equal, she says that they should certainly hover around an equilibrium. Essentially, keeping a tally of what you do versus what your partner does in a relationship undermines a key component that should be part of every healthy relationship: care for the other's well-being, Hadley says. If both partners genuinely care for one another, then you are both likely putting in the work and taking your share of the load, so there's no need to take score. 2. Controlling behavior. The second sign of a toxic person is controlling behavior. Restricting your partner's ability to work, live, or engage in society as they would normally is a key character trait that should be acknowledged. When one person in the relationship tries to control any part of the other's life, such as their finances, work, social life, who they are friends with, how often they see their family, how they dress, what they eat, gets to dictate how you live your life, though some people seem to believe they have authority over their partners. This type of controlling behavior is a strong sign of a toxic relationship. 3. The bad outweighs the good. Research suggests that for a healthy relationship, it's important that for every one negative interaction, we need 5 positive interactions to counteract it. If you're finding that your relationship has more negative interactions or leaves you feeling sad, hurt, or unhappy most of the time, chances are it's not the relationship for you. 4. Passive aggression and criticism. According to Hadley, relationships should be built on a foundation of care and affection. However, this isn't always the case. If you find your partner is constantly criticizing you, or vice versa, this can be a toxic trait that is aimed at making the other person feel small and unimportant, she says. Criticism can also lead to contempt, which is the #1 predictor of divorce, according to research from the Gottman Institute. 5. Fear of conflict. If you feel like you are walking on eggshells around the other person and avoid bringing up healthy conversation for fear of it escalating to a fight, this can indicate you might be in a toxic dynamic, Hadley explains. You should feel like you can bring up relational issues and problem solve together because you both care about the relationship and one another. 6. Jealousy. One of the most common signs of a toxic relationship is jealousy. While it's normal to feel jealous at times during a long-term relationship, the most pivotal factor in how this emotion plays into your well-being is how the parties react. If your partner is overly jealous of your relationships with others and is unfairly suspicious, this can be unhealthy. If you feel like you can't share your wins or celebrate your success for fear that they either won't care or will shut you down, you may be in a toxic relationship. 7. Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is a manipulative tactic some people use to gain power and control over their partner by making demands or threats to get what they want. They will often use blame, shame, guilt, fear, or obligation in order to get their way. For example, if someone doesn't want you to go out and have dinner with your friends, they may demand that you stay home. If you resist this demand, they'll push back with guilt and pressure you by saying something like, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't go out." This can then escalate to emotionally charged threats, such as, "Well, if you go out, I might not be here when you get back." Emotional blackmail is a rather narcissistic tendency, and if their partner gives in and complies with their demands, they now know they can use this same tactic again and again to maintain power and control. 8. Lack of support. Finally, and perhaps the most obvious sign of a toxic relationship is a lack of support. As Hadley explains, it could be as simple as feeling as though your partner doesn't have your back, or that they don't care about your general well-being. True support can be small in nature, but incredibly important, such as taking interest in you or your life, or actively support you in your goals. Thanks for watching.